this is the second part of videos that I want to expand about countermeasures to cultural illusions. And like I said in my first video, I took this information from book Reality and Spirituality and Modern Man, written by David R. Hawkins, MD and PhD, very smart man. I learned so much from him. So what would be the second part that you would have to take to be out from that cultural illusion, or to be aware? So the second part is intellectual sophistication via familiarity with the great books of the Western world. You might not know the titles, you might not know the authors, writers of those great books of Western world. So go and Google and find out. That list is available there. If you will have a trouble to find that list, I will provide on my site. Just I will give you that link under my video for author writers and basically writers, and you will find those writers' books to read. I will tell you my story when I was attracted first to Leo Tolstoy. I remember I was in grade 7. It was vacation time, so I was going from grade 6 to grade 7 at that time, and I was already a good reader, but I didn't start yet to read classical books, because the great books of Western world, they are classics, so they are the best of the best. So I went to my library. It was like a separate building somewhere, and I don't know, just something was pushing me. It is hard to explain how did it happen, but I felt like something is pushing me to the area of classics. So I went there, and I was in that section of classical books. I just put my hand like that, didn't know what I was going to read. And I took that book, the first one. I just read the writer name Leo Tolstoy, that I didn't have any idea who he was, and it was War and Peace. I took first part because that War and Peace is a very extensive work of Leo Tolstoy, so it's like it was in 2 parts, and I was able to take out only one book. So I took that first part, and I started to read, and I was happy with the wording. I just liked the words that they were put together, because the translator, Leo Tolstoy, is a Russian writer, was the Russian writer, and translation was done by Polish writer that I didn't know as well, but he was a very, very good writer. Probably that's why the translation was done perfectly well. And when I started to read, I was like, it was like a feast. It's something that you like to read. The words were sentences, words were like a feast for my mind. And I read very quickly, and I like it. And I like it so much. Why? Because it was classic. So that's the thing with classics. When you start to attract yourself to classic, you will choose only classic, because classics are on the higher level of vibration, And they are aligned with truth so much that you feel happy after reading that kind of books. You might say, oh, many people are attracted to lower levels. True, they are. And they are not really happy people. They are not really wise people. There is absolutely a warning for each of you to know what to read, because you might step into the area when it's available, but you don't know. It is attractive. Our mind is interested in attractive things. So there is a trap to be attracted to things that are not beneficial as well. But when you start to read classical books, and those books on the higher vibration, you right away have feeling of that it's something that you want to know more. It's not like those books from lower levels. I call them trash. But books on the higher level, when the human problems are presented in the way that you will be attracted, it is like in the real way. It is like part of us. And that's why those classical books expand understanding. So they are not for illusion that something's supposed to look like that. No, just more for understanding. I absolutely recommend to everyone to start to build their personal library and start to read those classical books. It doesn't matter where you're from, which country, what color of your skin. It does not matter. We all have the same. We all have brain and minds, and we can develop in the way that is the best and the most beneficial for us. So to follow something because somebody said, oh, don't read classics, don't read the great books of Western world. It's like the culture that you don't want to have anything with it. It's not about culture. Great books of Western world, it's about us. It's absolutely about us, about humans. So when you expand that knowledge about us, you will understand more about yourself. So don't listen those people that will not advise you not to read classical books. Do not listen them, because what happened to them, they are in illusion, and they want you to be victim of that cultural illusion. And when you will choose to do otherwise, they are not going to be happy, because their life is about control. They want to control you. And when you start to read the great books of Western world, it's not about controlling. It is about expanding your understanding and aligning yourself with truth.